Imagine a village where 5 boys, called cursed and unwanted, were thrown away like broken pots. Now picture one woman with nothing but love in her heart who took them in. What happened next was unthinkable, a secret buried deep in the earth that would save thousands. Want to know what 5 outcasts did to change the world? Stay with us for a story that will warm your heart and leave you speechless. In a wide, sunny land where golden grass swayed like waves, there was a village called Nkweme. Tall baobab trees stood like wise old giants, their branches reaching for the sky. Every morning, the sun painted the horizon with fire, orange, pink, and gold. The air buzzed with life. Women pounded yams with heavy wooden sticks. Children laughed as they chased bleating goats, and far-off drums beat a rhythm that called the village together. Nkweme was a place of color and song, with mud huts topped with grass roofs and paths worn smooth by busy feet. But not everyone felt its warmth. At the edge of the village, where the wild savanna began, stood a small hut made of clay. Shiny cowrie shells hung above its door, catching the sunlight. This was Amara's home. Amara was a woman whose smile could melt fear, and her laugh was like a breeze that lifted heavy hearts. Her eyes sparkled with kindness, as if she could see the good hidden in everyone. But the village whispered about her, for Amara had done something no one else dared. She took in 5 boys nobody wanted. 25 years ago, Amara was a young widow. Her husband, Chike, a brave hunter, was loved by all until a fever stole him away during a rainy season. He left Amara with a small patch of dry land and a heart full of love. The village expected her to marry again, to fill her hut with new children. But Amara had a different dream, one bigger than anyone could imagine. She found the boys one by one, each cast out for reasons that broke her heart. First was Kofi, a boy with a twisted leg from birth. The village called him bad luck, a sign of angry spirits. His parents left him by the river, hoping the water would wash him away. Amara found him shivering, his small body curled up in the mud. She carried him home, fed him warm yam porridge, and whispered, "You are safe now." Next was Obi, a skinny boy with quick hands and sharp eyes. His parents died in a flood that swept through a nearby village, leaving him to wander alone. He stole bread from market stalls to eat, and traders chased him, shouting, "Thief!" Amara saw him hiding behind a basket one day. Instead of scolding, she offered him a mango and said, "Come home with me." Then came Tunde, a quiet boy whose eyes seemed to glow like stars. He spoke of seeing spirits in the trees, which scared the village. They said he was touched by bad magic and sent him away. Amara found him under a baobab tree, his face calm but lonely. She sat with him, listening to his stories of the sky, and said, "Your eyes see what others cannot." Ade was the 4th, a boy who could not speak. His silence made people nervous, and they called him cursed. His mother left him at the market, hoping someone else would take him. Amara saw his gentle hands and kind eyes. She brought him home, teaching him to talk with signs, his fingers weaving stories no voice could tell. Last was Chike, the youngest, with skin that had light patches, different from the rest. The village said he was marked by spirits, an outsider. His family left him by the road, too ashamed to keep him. Amara saw his bright smile and dancing feet. She took his hand and said, "You are my son now." The village elders shook their heads. "Amara, these boys will bring trouble," they warned. "They're broken, unwanted. Why take this burden?" But Amara didn't see burdens. She saw boys who needed love, food, and a home. She made them a family, singing songs of the land, telling tales of brave heroes, and teaching them to stand tall. Life in Amara's hut was hard. Her farm was small with dry soil that grew only a little maize and yams. The village was poor and food was scarce. The boys faced cruelty from others. Children threw stones at Kofi, shouting "crooked leg." Obi was mocked as the thief. Tunde's strange talk made people turn away. Ade's silence brought whispers of curses. Chike's different skin drew cruel laughs. But Amara never let them feel small. Every night, under the big baobab tree near her hut, she gathered her boys. The stars shone above and the air was cool. "You are not what they say," she told them. "You are strong like the river, bright like the sun. Together, you can do anything." She taught them to share their food, to help each other, and to find joy in small moments. Kofi, though his leg was weak, found magic in his hands. He carved wood into masks, faces of lions, spirits, and ancestors, so beautiful that even the elders stopped to stare. Obi, with his quick hands, worked the farm with Amara, planting seeds and pulling weeds. He grew to love the soil, even when it gave little back. Tunde, with his glowing eyes, watched the stars. He saw patterns others missed, helping hunters find animals in the bush. Ade, the silent one, wove baskets from grass. His fingers creating designs so fine, they sold for coins at the market. Chike, with his joyful heart, sang and danced, making everyone smile, even on the hardest days. Amara's hut became a place of warmth. The boys called her Mama, and she called them her sons. They laughed together. Amara's hut became a place of warmth. The boys called her Mama, and she called them her sons. They laughed together, worked together, and grew strong, even as the village kept them at a distance. Years passed, and the boys became young men. Kofi's masks were sold in markets far away, bringing in coins. Obi's farming made their small plot greener. Tunde's star reading guided hunters, though they never thanked him. Ade's baskets were known across the land, and Chike's songs filled Nkwime's festivals with joy. But then a terrible drought came. The sky stopped giving rain. The river that fed Nkwime dried to dust. Crocs turned brown and died, and the village grew hungry. People fought over the last bits of food, and anger spread like a fire. The elders pointed at Amara's boys. "They brought this curse," they shouted. "Their bad luck has dried our land." The village turned colder, and Amara's family felt more alone than ever. Amara stood tall. "My boys are not the problem," she said. "We will find a way to help." But the village didn't listen. They turned their backs, leaving Amara and her sons to face the drought alone. One night, under the baobab tree, Tunde stared at the stars. His eyes, always bright, seemed to burn with a new light. "Mama," he said, "the stars are speaking. They say water is near, deep in the ground." His brothers listened, their hearts lifting with hope. But when they told the village, people laughed. "Water under the earth? That's foolish," they said. "The boys see spirits, not truth." Amara trusted Tunde. She had seen his visions come true before, finding lost goats, guiding hunters. "If the stars say it, we will find it," she told her sons. "We'll dig for water." The boys nodded, ready to try, even if no one else believed. Kofi, with his clever hands, drew a plan in the dirt. He marked a spot far from the village where Tunde's stars pointed. Obi, strong from years of farming, picked up a hoe and started digging. Tunde watched the sky each night, guiding them to stay on the right path. Ade wove strong ropes to lift heavy rocks. Chike sang songs to keep their spirits high, his voice echoing over the dry land. They worked in secret, far from the village's mocking eyes. The sun burned their backs, and the ground was hard as stone. Their hands blistered and their bodies ached. Days turned to weeks, and still there was no water. Some nights the boys wanted to give up. "What if the village is right?" Obi asked. "What if we fail?" But Amara sat with them under the stars. "We are a family," she said. "We don't give up. Keep digging. One morning, as the sun rose, painting the sky with gold, Obi's hoe hit something strange. The ground shook, and water, clear, cool, and shining, burst from the earth. It bubbled up, forming a sparkling pool. The boys shouted, splashing each other with joy. Amara fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. "My boys," she whispered, "you did it." They ran to the village, shouting, "Water! We found water!" At first, no one believed them. The elders scoffed and the children laughed. But when they saw the spring, their eyes grew wide. The whole village ran to the spot, touching the water, drinking it, laughing and crying. The drought was over. Nkweme would live again. The elders, who once called the boys cursed, came to Amara's hut. They bowed low, their voices soft. "We were wrong," they said. "Your boys are heroes." The village held a great feast under the baobab tree. Kofi's masks hung everywhere, bright and proud. Obi's crops, watered by the new spring, fed the people. Tunde's wisdom was honored, and Ade's baskets carried gifts for all. Chike led the village in song, his voice rising above the drums. The boys didn't stop with Nkweme. They traveled to other villages, teaching people how to find water deep in the ground. Kofi planned the wells, Obi dug them, Tunde guided with the stars, Ade made tools, and Chike brought hope. Dry lands turned green, and villages that once fought now shared water and food. This story of Amara's boys spread like wildfire. Travelers told it in markets, and singers wove it into songs. Kofi's masks were carved in every village, each one a symbol of hope. Obi's farms fed thousands, turning barren fields into green patches. Tunde's star maps guided travelers across the savannah. Ade's baskets carried goods far and wide. Chike's songs were sung by children, their voices echoing in the night. Amara's hut became a place of wonder. People came from far away to see the woman who saw hope in 5 unwanted boys. She welcomed them, sharing her story. Love is the greatest gift. It turns the broken into heroes. Tears filled Amara's eyes as she looked at her sons. "I saw you when no one else did," she said, her voice trembling with pride. "You were never broken. You were always my light." The boys knelt before her, their own eyes wet. "Mama," Kofi said, speaking for them all, "you gave us a home when the world turned away. Everything we did for you." The village children ran around them, singing a new song. Amara's boys, with hearts of light, brought water, love, and ended the night. The spring still flowed, its water clear and cool, a reminder that love could grow where others saw only broken pieces. Amara's hut, once alone, had built a family that changed the world. Her love was a flame that never faded, lighting the way for generations. Tears filled Amara's eyes as she looked at her sons. "I saw you when no one else did," she said, her voice trembling with pride. "You were never broken. You were always my light." The boys knelt before her, their own eyes wet. "Mama," Kofi said, speaking for them all, "you gave us a home when the world turned away. Everything we did for you." The village children ran around them, singing a new song. Amara's boys, with hearts of light, brought water, love, and ended the night. The spring still flowed, its water clear and cool, a reminder that love could grow where others saw only broken pieces. Amara's heart, once alone, had built a family that changed the world. Her love was a flame that never faded, lighting the way for generations. As the sun set, painting the sky with fire, Amara closed her eyes, her smile as bright as ever. The baobab tree stood tall, its branches whispering her story to the stars. And in every village, from the savannah to the mountains, people told the tale of Amara's boys, the 5 who were unwanted, who became heroes and who proved that love can move the earth itself. Hook for the future. But the story isn't over. Deep in the savannah, a new challenge waits, a secret even Amara's boys don't know. Will their light shine again? Subscribe and join us next time to find out what lies beyond the horizon.